Hi, I'm Justin Jensen, and welcome to my channel. It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust, sweat, and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and may fall again and again, because there is no effort without error or shortcoming. Teddy Roosevelt. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you. Today is October 25th, 2022, 5:44 p.m. on the East Coast. Pardon my children in the background as they are wild. Hope everyone is well. So, a couple things we need to talk about. Number one is the Debbie Collier case. My mind is absolutely blown when I tell you. The new theory is her death may not be a homicide. I'm going to wait for chat. I want to see what you're going to say. That her death may not actually be a homicide. Yeah. Just coming out, just breaking. And if they don't think, in my opinion, and a lot of other people's opinions, thank you, I see you. Women don't usually set themselves on fire. So we're going to get to it. Then we're going to talk about Billie Joe, her son, the other Quinton, which is who baby Quinton is named after. And there has been people allege that she kind of tried to help him get away with, fleeing from the police, sending him to another county. We'll talk about that. And I'm going to show you guys the dumpster, a video of the trailer park. And we just got a bunch of stuff we're going to dig into and talk about. So first, coming from Fox News, we're going to talk about it. Let's bring it up. I need to change the settings on this. Okay. Debbie Collier, investigators consider Georgia woman's death may not be homicide, sources say. Can you guys believe this? So let's first see if this has anything to do with it. We'll read it, but brought to you by Fox News.
Brendan, you're not fat. It's the shirt.
Of course, we have ads.
Welcome back to Fox and Friends. Some chilling details in the death of missing Georgia mom Debbie Collier, as new 911 calls revealed Debbie was in an accident with a mysterious ex-con truck driver a month before her disappearance.
From my niece, she said that she was in an accident about a month ago, and the driver was trying to convince my sister not to tell the cops that he was driving because he was out on parole, and there was, a stipulation to his parole that he couldn't drive.
Okay, so I didn't know that. So apparently, she was in an accident about a month prior to her death. Someone hit her, and she's saying, whoever this is talking, I guess it's a family member or a friend or someone who knows the situation, saying that, he didn't want her to call the cops because he was on parole. And, part of being on parole is not getting in trouble again.
Fox Nation host Nancy Grace has been following this disturbing case, and she joins us now. So, Nancy, this is a very interesting development. Does it raise red flags for you that this, she had an accident with somebody who was on parole?
Yes, it does, if in fact that is correct. Now, police have confirmed that she did have a fender bender prior to her being found dead, but they also state they don't know if that's what the daughter was talking about. Now, you're hearing a woman that claims to be the sister of Debbie Collier, Diane Shirley.
First of all, Nancy Grace looks fantastic. Second of all, I really miss those like late night Nancy Grace shows. But anyway, getting back to the story, I bet Debbie's daughter and Debbie's boyfriend are having a field day right now if they actually think that Debbie Collier's death may not be a homicide.
She says she got this information from Debbie Collier's daughter, Amanda. Now, I find it interesting that cops don't confirm that fender bender was with an ex-con. And let me point out, the stipulations on parole usually do not include, unless you're DUI, if it's a con, that means a felony, habitual violator DUI. Very rarely do you have the stipulation you're not supposed to drive. The parole board wants you to drive to work or walk to work. So I find that a very odd stipulation. And why a month later does an ex-con track her down? Sounds more like very far-fetched, let me just say. Also, on every police report, cops get the name of both parties. So we would have that in police files if that scenario were in fact connected to this case.
Well, I always trust your instincts, Nancy, and they seem to be bearing out with what law enforcement has said. They revealed yesterday that Debbie's murder was, quote, personal and targeted and not likely the act of a random serial killer.
Absolutely. When I read the headlines that there was a serial killer involved, I don't know where that cockamamie idea came from.
So they were saying that this was active and deliberate. Now they are saying, oh, wait, no, maybe not a homicide after all.
This is targeted to Deborah Collier. And the first place cops are going to look is those closest to her. Now, I was wondering why a guy that works at a bank would be working on a Saturday morning. Have you ever gone to a bank that's open on a Saturday morning?
No.
I haven't. But he's with Synovus, and the Optimists were using that parking lot for traffic for the Georgia game. So that's why he was there, and that's been confirmed. He was there from after 9 o'clock to 4 p.m. That's a big deal because you always look at the husband or the lover first. He was there at the time Debbie goes missing. Now we're looking at who's left standing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they look at the family first. So is that you think they're on the right path here. You think that looking at the family, and what do you make of the fact that it's her sister calling in, trying to get them off the track of the husband and the lover?
Well, I think the sister is just trying to help. I don't know that she's necessarily trying to lead down the garden path. It's SOP. You always look at the family, the lover, the boyfriend, the ex first. That doesn't mean that they did it.
Yeah.
But I also find it very interesting. You know, the daughter, Amanda Beardsley, moved home 2 days before. 48 hours after she moves home, her mother is dead.
Not to mention that there was supposedly an argument the night prior, right? All right, so let's dig into this article. And let's see here. All right. So in Georgia, investigators have begun exploring the possibility. Am I off mute? I want to make sure I'm off mute. Okay. The possibility of the disturbing death of Athens office manager Debbie Collier may not have been a homicide as initially suspected, according to law enforcement sources. They have no evidence linking several key people close to Collier, including her husband, daughter, and daughter's boyfriend, to locations anywhere near the crime scene between her disappearance on September 10th and the discovery of her remains following day, according to two sources with knowledge of the investigation. And evidence at the scene suggests her death could have been accidental or a self-inflicted, we'll just say. The source said, "I don't believe that for a rock solid second. Who sets themselves on fire and just pulls over on the side of the freaking highway and then is buying, at the Family Dollar down the road just a little bit, previously? No, not a chance. Not a effing chance." Collier was last seen alive at a Family Dollar store on September 10th, purchasing several items that were found burned near her remains. She also stopped by a Chick-fil-A restaurant beforehand, the source noted. This is Debbie, her husband, and I don't know who the little girl is. Collier was found dead and naked on September 11th. Not only that, who wants to be found naked and burned? In the Chattahoochee, National Forest, south of Clayton, a 90-minute drive from her home in Athens. Her husband, Stephen Collier, reported her missing around 6 p.m. the day earlier. She was discovered a few feet downhill from the site of a small fire with burns on her stomach, soot in her nostrils, and clutching a small tree. Just the way someone wanting to go out by their own accord wants to be found, right? Not hardly. When Fox News Digital visited the scene earlier this month, it was evident that at the heart of the burn marks, there were no signs that a wood-fueled fire had been constructed, although several items she was carrying were found scurried on the ground, including a blue tarp she had just purchased and small remnants of a Georgia Bulldog jersey she was last seen wearing. The missing persons report came after she sent a bizarre Venmo payment to her daughter, Amanda, of almost $2,400 along with a cryptic message saying, quote, "They are not going to let me go. Love you. There is a key to your house in the blue flower pot by the door," end quote. Hold on, I have a child. 1 second. Apologize for that. The sum Bearden received the day her mother went missing is, quote, "very close," end quote, to the amount Bearden's live-in boyfriend, Andrew, owed in probation fines, sources told Fox News Digital earlier this month. The math, they said, could be thrown off slightly by additional fees. Very interesting, but yet they're actually thinking that she could have offed herself. Not hardly. I think this is just ridiculous that they think this. 2 days before Collier's disappearance, her daughter, Amanda, and boyfriend, Andrew, moved back to Athens from Maryland, where they had been living with her brother, Habersham County investigator George Kaysen previously told reporters. Fox News Digital said that the couple had no involvement in the crime and that they were, quote, "scared themselves," end quote, sleeping behind barricaded doors. Well, who does that also sound like? Leilani and Billie Joe. As the case remained unsolved. Authorities have yet to release the autopsy report, toxicology results, or her official cause and manner of death. On Friday, the local radio station WCHM reported that an unnamed, quote, ranking member, end quote, of the Habersham County Sheriff's Office said that it, quote, "would be a good assumption," end quote, the detectives were no longer focused on Collier's immediate family in connection with the investigation. And this is the entrance to the crime scene of where Debbie Collier was found dead on September 11, 2022, is marked with a makeshift memorial in the shape of a cross, as you see in this picture. John Kelly, a criminal profile and psychoanalyst who had been following the case, said there are a few questions he'd still like to have answered. Quote, why'd she drive all the way up there? Why try to pull herself up after she'd fallen down a hill in through the woods, end quote. He said Monday, quote, "She looked like she was getting ready to go tailgating, dressed up to have fun, not to end her own life," end quote. Anyone with information on Collier's case is asked to contact the Habersham Sheriff's Investigation, Cal Garrison, or George Kaysen at 706-839-0559 or 706-839-0560, respectively. Okay. A few things on this case. Nancy Grace made a very, very good point. 2 days after. 1 second, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, I apologize. Kids are playing basketball. Um, you don't just normally have, these two people, move in Debbie's house. Well, at least the daughter. I don't know if her boyfriend did or what. And then 48 hours later, the mom goes missing. And the night prior to that, she is saying that the neighbors are hearing a lot of arguing and all of that. Now, I do believe, if I can remember correctly, I have it somewhere, but the daughter's boyfriend, he has a criminal history. Not only that, a lot of drugs, been very drug dependent. So, that's kind of so, it's something that it doesn't make sense. Why would she travel an hour and a half, go to a store, park on a random side of the highway after she goes to the store, and then Ketter's? I'm going to. I'm so sorry. Um, so, just, you know, and, go on the side of the highway when it's raining, go down a hill, light your abdomen on fire, and found clutching yourself, clutching your hand to a tree. It doesn't make sense. I mean, I don't care. Like, listen, maybe, well, and then also you send your daughter this weird message, and she's probably broke because she just moved. They don't have a job yet, and this guy has to pay his fines. This guy that has to pay his fines, and it's very, very close to the amount that they needed. So, yes, please don't talk about her. Yes, I don't want to talk about her. Don't, yeah, keep it out of the chat, please. Don't care. It's not about her right now. It's about victims. Um, so yeah, it doesn't make sense. It'll never make sense. And I pray to God that this case will be solved and it won't have the, you know what, she just did it herself, because there is nothing that anyone could ever say or do that I would believe that this was something that she did to her intentionally at all. At all. 100%. Wouldn't She never did this on her own. She had no right. I mean, she had no she wasn't like depressed or anything that we know of, and also to be found, nude. I'm not taking calls right now. Um, it's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And if you can't solve it, just say it's unsolved. We're still searching. We need to dig for more evidence, but don't say that she did this to herself. Whenever, first of all, a woman generally doesn't like to be found nude when they off themselves, right? They generally don't drive an hour and a half away from your home, go ahead and stop at a store, pick up a few things, drive down the road, find this little section off the road, slip, down a hill, and then come back up on the hill, light yourself on fire. No, no. Nope. Impossible. Impossible. You can't say that. And I will be very disheartened if I hear that this is the way the cops is going to go. I mean, maybe they don't want to put in the detective work, for the long haul. This may be a long haul case. You may not find someone for 5, 10, 15, 20 years how to solve this case. Maybe it's going to take time for loose lips sink ships kind of thing. But this is not the way to do it. Yes, the toxicology report. I mean, when these, her daughter, she wasn't a good person. It didn't seem like it. And her man definitely wasn't a good person. We have him on video of literally him and his girlfriend, Debbie's daughter, I think her name was Amanda, um, fighting with the cops and all of that. Yeah, and especially nude. Exactly, especially nude. It's not the way. Listen, if she was going to end it herself, most women go to their bed, put their lipstick on, and their favorite outfit, you know, and take something. Was she sad about anything? I mean, there was nothing in particular. It just doesn't fit. Exactly. It does not fit. Um, I think, and there's a lot of inconsistencies with the boyfriend as well. And I think that it is linked with the boyfriend, with the daughter, probably more so the boyfriend. But I think that they both know, even if maybe they didn't do it and they had someone else do it. But never in 1,000 years will I ever think, yes, he hated Debbie. He did. And wait to find out if he got fines paid. Yeah, I'm sure we can look that up. Well, I mean, she wasn't nude. She had everything on except shirt. It makes sense that if she accidentally set herself on fire. She was. I can't remember exactly what all she had on. I've got photos of the crime scene. I mean, and why take all of that, stuff down there? Why fall down the hill, right? We know that she fell down the hill, or maybe she was trying to get away from someone, and then climb back up the hill and then do it. It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It just doesn't. So we'll stay on top of this and see what happens. It's that just it broke yesterday, I believe. So now, Dave, listen, not right now. Not right now. Yeah, something has happened. Absolutely. Well, so we'll stay on top of that. Now we're going to talk about the Quinton Simon case. So little baby Quinton, he was named after his uncle. Let me show you a picture of his uncle. Here is the other Quinton. Now his first name, hold on, what is his first name? I think his first name is Andrew, actually. Sorry, no, Nathaniel. His first name is Nathaniel. Oh. Here he is. This is the other Quinton. Now, Quinton, he is in prison for murder. Him, another guy, took a guy in the woods and beat him to death. Beat him to death. And he was charged for it. I think he got originally 50 some years. You can tell this is a jailhouse photo. He originally got 50 some years. He has to serve 25. He is halfway through that sentence right now. So it was what, 2011? It was 2011, I believe, when this happened. He was young. He was very young when this happened. Now, someone wrote something very interesting earlier today. I'll have to find it when I have 3,642 tabs open. We're going to go into what all he has done. Oh, where the hell is it? Well, let me clear some of these windows out real quick. Okay, here we go. So let's pull it up. All right. So this says, make sure y'all can see it. I forget, I gotta push that other button. All right. I know this because we were sitting on our porch. This was a neighbor of Billie Joe and them at the time. I know this because we were sitting on our porch when it happened, meaning the fight and the murder. I know this because we were sitting on our porch when it happened. In the woods, right in front of our home, my husband searched the woods in the dark when we heard the shots and saw the boys run out of the woods. My husband did not find Timmy and did not hear him, so we thought it was kids playing with guns until the next day. They found his body feet away or so from where my husband was looking around, but behind something so he couldn't see him. We are friends with Timmy's mother, who is the victim in this case, who is still devastated and pissed that Miss Billie Joe could sit there and beg for info on her grandson, but helped her son leave town when Timmy was missing and Laura was searching for her son, her boy. Billie Joe, the grandmother of the missing little boy, is Quinton Betterson's, is that how you pronounce it? Mom and Quinton shot and killed Timmy Moore over on Roger Street in Pooler years ago after him and two friends lured him into the woods and robbed him. The whole family is messed up. So, there we have it. So it kind of makes you wonder, if this is true, which, I mean, it is true that he murdered, him and another person is charged with murder. But did she help her son get away? Run from the police? Will she help Leilani, get away? They say she's not a risk, but yesterday she's like, I'm not going anywhere, I'm not doing anything. And just because she said that doesn't mean she's not going to. And also, just because she said that, people may have let their guard down. And we have Billie Joe. I did a very short video, like 60 seconds today, of Billie Joe and her husband out in the road saying that, there was no way that she doesn't know why Leilani tried to blame it on little Quinton's dad. There was no way possible he could have done it. And she's lying. And, she did it, more or less. Paraphrase it for you. And then we have last night them acting like, little Quinton is literally been kidnapped almost. And it's just a bunch of baloney. When in fact, not only did she say it in that interview, she said it on Facebook that she said she did it, and she threw him in a dumpster, and he's at the dump. I mean, come on. Let's watch, and then we'll talk about it. And then we're going to go over why the other Quinton is in jail, and more about that case, if this thing will ever work. Hold on. Let me refresh it. Okay, 1 second. Do I need to unmute it? Mute tab. Unmute tab. Okay, here we go.
Leilani Simon, the mother of missing Chatham County toddler Quinton Simon, talked to WTOC today for the first time since he was reported missing nearly 3 weeks ago. Chatham County Police and the FBI believe Quinton is dead, and they are searching a local landfill for his remains. Police say Leilani is the only suspect in his disappearance and death.
So, just so in case anybody's confused, police looking for remains in the landfill, they have to have some sort of really healthy proof for them to ask for another $250,000. They're not going to look, as particularly the FBI is not going to look aimlessly in a landfill and request extra money for him to not be in that landfill. Plus, Billie Joe said that her daughter told her this. Second of all, look right here. Quinton's mother only, ONLY, suspect. The only suspect.
WTOC's Shay Schrader spoke exclusively to Leilani today.
I spoke with Leilani, Quinton's mother, about a number of things, including her status as the only suspect in her son's disappearance and what life has been like for her and her family in the 3 weeks since he was reported missing. I also spoke with her about what she remembers from that morning.
My kids woke up to me screaming, "Where's Quinton?" and running through the house.
I want to mention something about that. She said, my kids woke me up to them screaming, "Where's Quinton?" I don't think, personally, that the other kids of her age, of their age rather, I don't think that they would wake her up screaming, saying, "Where's Quinton?" I don't think that. Kids are just generally, they're very distracted, and they don't, I don't think that, yeah, and Sky can't talk, exactly. I don't think that that would ever happen. And that's my opinion. I don't think that the kids are going to wake up and say, oh, they may say that, like they may be looking around and stuff, but they're going to get distracted 30 seconds later when they see a toy on the floor or something like that. So I don't think so, personally. And second of all, did anyone notice that she has not mentioned any of her other children in this interview? I haven't seen anyone, and I want it, Glamour, that is so true, yes. And she had tweaker jaw in that one interview, and it's where they grind their teeth in their jaw. You can tell that they're all hopped up on something.
I ran and looked everywhere, inside, outside, just started screaming for help.
Leilani
Okay, one more thing. So the boyfriend leaves at 6 o'clock, allegedly, right? And then she's waking up at 9 o'clock. So the kids, did they just wake up at 9 o'clock too and just immediately get up and start saying, where's Quinton? Where's Quinton? Not likely either. And you don't sleep till 9 o'clock if you have a baby. Quinton was a baby, but you have a baby as well. And people are in the chat are saying Zane doesn't even talk. You don't sleep till 9 o'clock. And you won't sleep till 9 o'clock for another 18 years. So just be ready for that, right? You got school and everything else once they get a little bigger. You're up at the ass crack of dawn. And when you're feeding the baby all hours of the night, so that was 3 hours you had to do something and think of something.
reported Quinton missing around 9 a.m. on the morning of October 5th. Since then, Chatham County Police and the FBI say they believe he's dead and are searching for his remains at a local landfill. Police say Leilani is the prime and only suspect in his disappearance and death, though she hasn't been charged with anything.
I'm here. I've been here every day since this. I am not running and I'm not hiding. And if something does come up that I am at fault, I will take myself to that police station.
Okay. First of all, in this, you first said you didn't know where Quinton was at all. At all. Then you say to your mom, I don't know if you said it to authorities, but your mom has even said this, that you told that Quinton's dad, Bubba, came and got him for the night, right? Then you changed it and you said Quinton's dad, Bubba, may have came and kidnapped him in the early morning, through the night sometime, right? And then now you're saying, if I am at fault, I will take myself in there. You just did an oxymoron, woman. An oxymoron. Because you're a moron, is basically why. But you don't say, maybe someone took him. Maybe they couldn't have kids, which was what they was, that's another story that, there was an interview and the woman was saying that she couldn't have kids, and the next day she said, maybe someone took him because they couldn't have kids and we just want him to be safe and everything like that. So you're saying, well, maybe someone took him, maybe someone out there. And then you're saying, well, if I had anything to do with it, I will march myself down there. And then look at Billie Joe's face right now. Look at her face. Because Billie Joe is looking like a liar right now. Because Billie Joe put on social media that Leilani confessed and he's at the dump. So Leilani is like, she doesn't want to be like in the middle of an interview, WTF are you doing? Because you've already said something. We've already told the world. You've already confessed. No innocent mother waits three weeks to speak. That's true. And no innocent mother says, if I have something to do with it, I'll march myself down there. Well, girl, you got your bags packed. You should have been there 3 weeks ago. Because Leilani, you know you have something to do with it. We know you have something to do with it. Because your mom has told the world that you confessed. And I get it. Billie Joe is upset and hurt. I understand that. And I have more compassion for Billie Joe than I do Leilani. However, Billie Joe failed these kids. They don't even speak about the other kids. They don't even speak about the other kids. So Leilani will probably be in, prison for the rest of her life, and Billie Joe will probably seek some time for child endangerment and, all of that stuff. A lot of other charges will probably be tacked on. It's this is the thing. We know it's Billie Joe, A, because it was her account, and B, we have the recording of her saying, hold on, let me just pull it up. That way, I did this video today. All right. So I can just show you. Hold on.
I've been talking with the baby's father, with Quinton's father. I've been talking with him all day yesterday, and he's already been questioned, and they've already went to his job and went to his home, and Quinton's not there, which is I didn't think he would be anyway. Why Leilani would even like whatever Leilani's story doesn't add up. I've been talking with the baby's father, with Quinton's father. I've been talking with him all day yesterday, and he's already been questioned, and they've already went to his job and went to his home, and Quinton's not there, which is I didn't think he would be anyway. Why Leilani would even come up with a story like that, I don't even know.
And that's your daughter.
Yes.
That's his mom.
Yes.
Have you tried?
I feel like whatever Leilani's story doesn't add up. I've been talking with the baby's father, with Quinton's father. I've been talking with him all day yesterday, and he's already been questioned, and they've already went to his job and went to his home, and Quinton's not there, which is I didn't think he would be anyway. Why Leilani would he?
So we have that, but hold on. Channel videos. Here we go. All right, here we go.
If something does come up that I am at fault, I will take myself to that police station.
And I will walk with her.
Like whatever, Leilani's story doesn't add up. Well, I've been talking with the baby's father, with Quinton's father. I've been talking with him all day yesterday, and he.
Look at that grinding of the teeth and the way they move their jaw. That's drugs.
He's already been questioned, and they've already went to his job and went to his home, and Quinton's not there, which is I didn't think he would be anyway. Why Leilani would even come up with a story like that? I don't even know.
And that's your daughter.
Yes.
That's his mom.
Yes.
Have you told
I feel like whatever.
So there you have that. Whack jaw. Yeah. Yeah. It's really bad, Nikita. I mean, so there you have it. There you have it. And now you have, Miss Leilani being like, oh, if I have something to do with it, I'll take my butt down there and go. Well, why aren't you there, sister? You're just buying time. You're just buying time. Bella, I grind my teeth at night. That is not there. It's a very, for people who know drugs, I already demonetized my video there. For people who know drugs, you know that. You've seen it. You see it. So that's that. So that's that. So it's just more pathetic. And today, I think it's today. Yes, today marks 1 week they have been searching for your son, Leilani. 1 week that they have been searching for your grandson, Billie Joe. One week. All right. So let's talk more about the brother, and let's talk about what the brother did, because now Billie Joe has 2 children who are murderers, which is a very rare thing, and I can almost guarantee you that this will go in the books. This will be studied. I am sure of that, because it's one thing for siblings to be in the same murder. It is another thing for your children and siblings to be in 2 separate murders. All right. So let me show you. There's a few articles actually on it. This is Nathaniel rather, and also known as Quinton. This was when he was. This was in 2011, September 15th, 2011. Right. So it says officers responded to a call of a deceased person in the woods of Garden Acres Mobile Home Park at 1105 South Roger Street on September 6th. Shortly, in a little bit, by the way, side note, I am going to show you guys a video of that trailer park, of the dumpsters. Officers spoke to witnesses who discovered. I keep forgetting to add that, sorry. Officers spoke to a witness who discovered the victim deceased at the scene. GBI medical examiner responded, conducted an autopsy, and ruled the death a homicide. It was determined that Timothy Moore, 27, was the victim of a fatal gunshot. This article is from 2011, September 15, 2011, which is when this happened and when Billie Joe's son, Quinton, also known as Nathaniel. His first name is Nathaniel. His middle name is Quinton. Investigators identified 3 suspects who have all been charged with the murder and armed robbery. 2 of the suspects are 16-year-old juveniles and are currently being held in the Savannah Regional Youth Detention Center. The other suspect, Nathaniel Quinton, 17, at 1105 South Rogers Street, is currently being held at the Chatham County Jail without bond. The case remains under active investigations by the Pooler Police Department Criminal Investigation Division. Anyone with information? Okay. So here he is. That's one article. There are a few articles on this. This is the another one. Palmer pleads guilty, sentenced to 15 years for Pooler fatal shooting. And this one is a plea hearing is in schedule for Wednesday. This is from 2014, or is published February 5th, 2014, updated March 7th, 2014. A plea hearing is scheduled for Wednesday for one of the 3 people charged with the fatal shooting of Pooler. Sharif Palmer, who was 16 at the time, now faces murder charges in the death of Timothy Moore. Savannah, Georgia. Palmer pled guilty to voluntary manslaughter, armed robbery, possession of a firearm in committing a crime, and false statements. Palmer was sentenced to 15 years in prison with 10 years to serve without parole. He was given 5 years of probation. 2 others, Aaron, I don't know if it's Saddam or Saddam, something like that. Nathaniel, which is Nathaniel Quinton, was also charged in this case. Police say the 3 men shot and killed Moore during a robbery behind Garden Acres Mobile Home Park in Pooler. Let's see here. Nathaniel pleaded guilty last September and was sentenced to 45 years in prison with at least 22 years to serve. So that's what I was saying earlier. This happened in 2011. He has to serve at least 22 years. So he is technically halfway through the 22 years. His testimony is being used against the 2 co-defendants in the case. So, and it all, I wasn't even showing you none of this. I'm so sorry, guys. Yeah. And it was all over drugs. It was all over drugs. It always boils down to drugs, which I've already said it 4 times, so I don't know why I keep. But yeah, there's that. And let's see if the third article has anything, and then we're going to go over to that video. armed robbery and voluntary manslaughter in 2011, slaying in return for a 45-year prison term, 22 of which must be served. Nathaniel Quinton Butterton, 19, must serve 20 years without parole on an armed robbery conviction. The Chatham County Superior Court Chief Justice Judge Michael Karft ordered as a part of plea agreement. Nathaniel Quinton admitted robbing Timothy Moore on September 12th, 2011 in a wooded area in Pooler. Moore attempted to tackle Nathaniel, and the defendant shot him several times, killing him. As part of a negotiated plea, Assistant District Attorney Isabel Pauley reduced a murder charge to voluntary manslaughter. Karft sentenced Betterton to 20 years of probation to run in addition to the prison term. He added 5 years in prison with 2 to serve on a charged possession of firearm during the commission of a crime. So, halfway through the sentence, now, what we found out today. So we do know that Leilani was on probation for the theft of that employer, right? Not taking calls, 2 dot, 3 dot, Dave. I don't know if it's 2 or 3 dots, but Brett Buffington from WSEV says they have confirmed that Leilani Simon, Quinton's mom, is on double, DOUBLE, double probation sentences, both from charges that were originally felonies and both from stealing. One is from Harnett County, North Carolina, and the other one is from Burke County, Georgia. Now, generally, if you're a thief, you're a liar, right? Now, if you're a liar, it doesn't necessarily make you a thief, but if you're a thief, you're generally a liar as well, just the way it is. So she is on double parole. They were originally felonies. But they were pled down. So her butt could have gotten trouble twice before. But guess what? Smack on the hand, and let's give her. I didn't even know you could be on double probation. I didn't even know double probation was a thing, to be honest with you. I never heard of double probation. Anybody heard of double probation? Wait a second. Two seconds, sorry. I didn't. Yep, back to back. Nope, never. Help me either. Okay. I didn't ever heard of. So, double probation. So then these people just keep getting probation, smack them on the hand, and they end up murdering their child, it seems. Oh my God, 30 memberships tonight? Oh, really? Thank you. Who gave them out so I can thank them? Yes, and if you guys will hit the thumbs up, I would really appreciate it so we can get this out here for Debbie and, of course, baby Quinton. Well, thank you, Gone Girl. Thank you, 50 Shades of Blue. And thank you, A Snizzle. Thank you guys so much. That is very, very sweet. Thank you all. Okay. Now, let's show you guys a video of that trailer park and of those dumpsters. So I'm still going to give a trigger warning because they are dumpsters, but this is where Quinton's final resting place, not final resting place, but where Leilani dumped her child. It's such a weird thing to say, right? It's so weird. All right. Give me 2 seconds. Crap. So there's no, but this is that trailer park. I want to say that Billie, Joe, and Leilani and them had lived here prior at some point. I do know that they have family in this trailer park, and someone else lives very close to. Leilani's best friend, who we saw in the video in the white truck. Now, this is the dumpsters. Hold on, let me back it up a little bit. These are the dumpsters that she threw Quinton in. Now, remember, I don't know if that's a dumpster right there. I don't know, but definitely 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 dumpsters. Maybe 6. That is a lot of trash that is picked up in one time, right? It's a lot of trash. Now, you have what they do is, the forks come out, it goes over the thing, and then in the truck, and then they take it down. Justin is at the trailer park they lived in, got evicted because Leilani broke in and stole. That's a good question, Misty. I don't know. I see you. Can you remember that so we can check on that? Oh, Camille, love you, honey. You're so good. Thank you. I appreciate you. But so a trash truck can hold 18 tons, 15 tons, I think it is. Yes, Kelly, I know. I'm excited. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you all. 15 tons. 15 tons. That's 30,000 pounds of trash. And you have to think 30,000 pounds, trigger warning, If you don't want to hear anything like this, you should probably leave now or just cover it up for a couple minutes. You know, I mean, a dump truck's big, but it's not that big, right? You know, and what's most of our trash? You know, it's usually just like paper packages and, you know, cardboard, things like that. So 30,000 pounds, 30,000 pounds in, you know, just a truck, a dump truck. That has to be compacted very tight for it to fit 30,000 pounds, up to 30,000 pounds. Do I think that they will find him? I think it will be a miracle if they find all of him. Yes, I think it'll be a miracle. And I think it depends on how much trash is on him. So it's if they never find him, can they charge Leilani? That's a good question. Yeah, they can charge her, but you would have to need a lot of evidence, a lot of circumstantial evidence that I don't know that they have or not. You know, we just don't know if they have it or not. I 100% think he is at the landfill. Yes, 100%, in my opinion. You know, there are people that think, oh, he's not in the landfill, not in the landfill. No, they have evidence at least a couple ways, a couple different directions of evidence that will point them that the child Quinton is in that landfill. But I don't know if she would ever be convicted if they don't find the body. I don't know, because this is the thing. I mean, you know, the defense can be like, oh, well, somebody, you know, we don't know where Quinton is. He could be, you know, someone could have kidnapped him and, you know, whatever. That's what Leilani's saying. Or they, you know, even though that they have some type of physical evidence right now. They have some type of physical evidence. You know, when they were covering up the windows, you know, they were spraying luminol. They had to have a reason. I mean, of course they were checking, but they were doing it in a very specific way that they found some sort of evidence in that house. They did drain that pool. I don't know what for, but they had a reason. Yeah. I do think there was blood cleaned up or something. Yeah, the dog did. What is it? So it's just sad. It's just sad. All right, let's finish watching this. Where is it at? Let me back this up a little bit. So as you see, look at this right here. A baby chair, a high chair. mattresses and like a recliner. It's kind of sad that there's a baby chair there. But these are, I don't know if, I mean, some of you may have never put trash in a dumpster or anything, but generally with a dumpster, you can put trash through here, the top, or some of them, they lock the top and you can put trash through the side here. And then this right here is where the big forks come in on the trash truck and where they pick it up and they dump it. And then this is the trailer park. So this is the name of it. I'm going to play it one more time so people just came in, and so I won't interrupt. Azalea Plaza, where Leilani Simon was allegedly seen on surveillance. She did not live here at the time. However, her friend lives right across from the trailer park. Right across. Her best friend lives right across from the trailer park. Very sad, guys. There are a lot of water around, which makes me think they have solid evidence that he's at the landfill. I think that they have solid evidence personally. Personally, I think that they have pretty solid evidence. Let me see what else I got for y'all. So she's on double parole. Hold on, I want to play this. I think this might be the full video. Oh crap. Sorry.
Brent.
Let me see if I... Hold on, I haven't seen this. We'll play this. This is brought to you by WSAV. They've done a lot of...
Yesterday morning, the WSAV investigative unit has uncovered court documents showing Quinton's mom,
Leilani Simon, was being evicted from the home where the toddler went missing. The search for the little boy now spans 32 hours. Yesterday, officers from surrounding law enforcement agencies used horses, dogs, and even drones to scour the area, but found nothing. FBI agents are now involved in this case.
Our lead investigative reporter, Brett Buffington, has been following this story from the beginning. He is back live in the neighborhood for us.
Sorry, I just have to pause it every so often because I have to comment on it. And my comment is Leilani is a douche from hell.
This evening. So, Brett, let's begin with what we've learned about Quinton's mother.
And that eviction notice was filed just under a month ago. The home where Quinton went missing from, it's owned by his grandparents, and we've learned just days after an argument between Quinton's mother and Quinton's grandmother, Quinton's mother and her boyfriend were told to leave. New documents uncovered by the news.
So this is my thing. She was asking Leilani to leave, right? Why the hell is Leilani not moved now? She don't have any kids now. Neither one of them have any kids now. So why don't you kick her ass out? Kick her out. Billie Joe, why haven't you kicked her out? You've got an eviction notice for her. I've showed it on here. The world has seen it. You wanted her out. Why is she not out? Especially after doing this to your grandson.
Investigative unit tell the story of a mother arguing with a daughter. That Chatham County incident report, one of two found for this home, says the argument was over laundry. Maybe the biggest piece of information in it is that Quinton's mother, Leilani Simon, told police last month that she didn't want any trouble because she was on probation.
She said she did not want any trouble. She was just on probation. She didn't want her to get in trouble. She just wanted her out. That's what the papers say. She just wanted her out. You can get her out now. You can get her out now, Billie Joe. I have been told that when Leilani and Billie Joe, when it was good, but when it was bad, it was really bad between the two. They had a very off and on relationship. They, like when they both had DRUGS, they were good. You know, they partied and drank and stuff a lot together, which is, you shouldn't do with your kids, in my opinion. I don't care their age. You know, you shouldn't be doing DRUGS with your kids. You shouldn't be doing it at all, but
just days later, Billie Howell, Quinton's grandmother, filed for an eviction. She put in that notice that her daughter, her daughter's boyfriend, and 3 kids were living in her home. She says they damaged her property, and to quote, no one.
They have damaged my property, and at this point, no one is living in peace. So it was really bad in that house. And then the day before Quinton goes missing, she is ordered to pay child support. The next day, Quinton is dead. Pretty is as pretty does. Thank you for becoming a member. Thank you, my love. I appreciate you. It's a great way to help out the channel, and I really do appreciate your memberships, guys. Thank you. It's a way that you can help me go out on the field and do these trips and stuff, so it really, really does help. Thank you. Obsessed with True Crime. Thank you for your super chat. Billie Joe looks at Leilani like she despises her. Yes, I think so. But to be very honest with you, I think they are very similar, and that is why they fight a lot. I really do.
Is living in peace. That grandmother and Quinton's grandfather telling us today they just want Leilani to tell the police the truth.
All right, here's that interview, guys, that I showed you guys earlier. Watch this. Watch it.
because she's lied to us so many times. And I don't know, it's just bad to say, but she just likes to lie.
Today, in this neighborhood, federal agents went through dumpsters. On this ATV, they searched in the woods and along the freeway. The moment since Quinton went missing.
Look what you did, Leilani. Look what you did. This precious baby, you threw him in a fucking dumpster. You evil witch. I don't know how anybody throws anyone in a dumpster, let alone a 20-month-old baby that coos and gagas and just is a baby. A 20-month-old can't do anything to deserve that.
For his grandparents have been hell.
I'm dying. And I need everybody to help. Everybody that knows anything, anybody. Just. Alright, Amy's just a baby.
We were there today as investigators searched another property owned by Quinton's family. The little boy's grandpa told me he cut the locks off himself so the police could get in. These grandparents just want to see their grandson again.
He hugs me. He wants me to pick him up and play with him.
So far, there has been nothing investigators have found to lead them any closer to answering the question, where is Quinton? The Chatham County Police Chief this afternoon told us that his investigators are now pulling cell phone records, obviously putting together that those records most likely will be from Quinton's mother and Quinton's mother's boyfriend. At last check with the family, they told us investigators are still holding those two people. During this story, we just learned from the Chatham County Police Department that they can't tell us whether those two are still being questioned at this hour. We're live in West Chatham County. Brett Buffington, WSAV. News 3 on your side.
There you have it. There you have it. You know, Billie Joe, if you could at least redeem yourself a little bit if you did what is continued to be right and kick your daughter out, make her uncomfortable, and tell her she has to go because you killed my grandchild. You killed my grandchild. I failed Quinton. But let me tell you something. At least I'm going to try. I'm not going to take up for my daughter and make it even a bigger sin on top of it. Because you told people she did this. Because she told you. But at least be there defending Quinton at every turn. You did screw up as a mother. You did screw up as a grandmother. You did screw up as Quinton and the other kids' caregiver. But where you can make it right, you need to make it right where you can, Billie Joe. That's what you can do. You can see it through that Quinton gets justice from your daughter's hands that did this. Evil people. Oh, thank you, pretty as pretty does. Thank you so much. That's very, very generous of you. I appreciate it. It is heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking. This is a hard one. It's a hard one for sure. Thank you for your very generous contribution. Thank you. I appreciate it. And you know what you can do? Leilani, you can say, I did the most disgusting thing that can be done on the planet, which is murder, and particularly murdering your child. But what you can do is you can tell the officers more, and you can say, let me pay my sentence here on earth and speak it and confess and pray to God for your soul. But if you don't confess what you have done and try to mend it, it's not your it's just going to be worse. Oh no. They won't be given back. Not a chance. Not a chance. Not a chance. You know, when you screw up things in life, at least try to make it right. Try to make it right. Where you can. Where you can. Let me see what I can see. Just very sad, man. Very, very sad. And today is a week that they have been searching for Quinton. A week. I'm going to take a few calls, I think. Let me see here. Anybody wants to call in? 1 second. All right. If you want to call in, you're welcome to call in 307-228-4906. There's the number. The lines are now open. If they have nothing to find the cause of death, then they can't change. They can't charge her with anything. 510.
Hey, Justin. It's Camille.
Hey, Camille. How are you, honey?
I'm good. I came in late, but I was going to ask you the video that you posted early this morning.
Uh-huh.
I think it was the one that a girl put together. It was last night. I don't know if it was Betty's or the other girl where you could hear Billie show.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I know she was drunk, but you know.
Chronicles of Olivia.
Do you think that she's about to break? Possibly.
No. Nope. I don't think so.
I was like,
What? Hold on 1 second.
You know,
April C. What do you mean Adam was just charged without a body? Oh, do you mean Go ahead, Camille. Sorry.
You go ahead. That's fine.
No. I think you mean about another case.
But I just, you know, I know they were playing a baby crying, you know, really loud and all that before then, and I thought, you know, God, I just don't understand. I can't, well, I don't know why I keep trying to identify myself with what they're supposed to be doing, because I could never do that in the first place. But I'm like you, take your ass down to the jail and own your stuff before you burn in hell for eternity. You know, it's the lesser of two evils, but you'll be better off that way.
Absolutely.
But I am furious. Like you said with Serenity McKinney, this is the one that's getting me. This is the one that I can't look at his picture. I would have took him in a heartbeat home with me and given him the best life possible. I mean, it just absolutely.
I would take any kid. You know what? I think there should be like a list in every city for people.
People with background checks and everything.
Yeah,
Drop them off.
yeah, drop off location. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
here, drop a child off. If you feel like you're going to harm a child or anything, drop your child off at one of these locations. Yes.
Yeah. It's so out of hand, and every time you turn on the news, it is another one and another one. And I know you see way more than we do, you know.
It's
but
terrible.
I'm just, we are behind you. Like I told you, we are growing this community. We are going to give memberships out until if I have to go prostitute on the corner, I'm going to
don't do that. You are so sweet, Camille. Thank you for everything.
This place is the best place, and you just don't know.
Oh.
You don't know how many people that you're getting to wake up and say, hey, this may be small in my town, but I can do this, or I can do this. I may not can, you know, go to Georgia, but I can write my local people and get them out of office, or I can say, hey, you know, CPS or DHS or wherever you call it, where you're at, that's a government, you know, ran place. Put, you know, black the names out of the children, but let us see that you went back and laid eyes on them, so we don't have another Serenity.
That's right.
I mean, it's just, you know, there's so many simple answers. There's no reason for this to keep happening. It's just and like this. I mean, arrest her for jaywalking. I mean, they're arresting trespassing people every single night. Just
absolutely.
Up, putting bruises up and down their arms.
Yep.
Arrest her. Let her make bond. Arrest her again. I mean, she's violated so many times.
Well,
I mean, somewhere she hasn't passed a drug test since she's been on probation.
This is my thing. Why should she be comfortable in a very nice home? Eating, you know, going out, and whether she was partying or not out there getting shots. I know she's drinking and drugging, right? But in my opinion,
you can't just cold-hearted. I mean, you can't just all of a sudden stop that, or you're going to have to go to a medical facility.
Right.
I worked in a you know, treatment place, and I worked above, or the detox unit was above me.
Right.
So, you know, you couldn't have people just come in there on something and say, okay, I dropped it all off. You know, I mean, and they went through, it's bad. It's bad even when you're medically taken off.
Oh, yeah.
And like you said, they're addicted from then on.
Yep.
You know, they're an addict, and
Forever.
they constantly are going to have to fight that battle.
That's right.
But this is just too much. This is too much.
It is.
Are y'all still everything?
We're still. Yep.
I cannot wait. You got everything to do your newscast break for it?
Yeah, I got it. Thank you for the battery too, Camille. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem.
So much.
Once you just be able to set up to your press conference.
I got it. I got it. And Marissa and I, we have a plan too. So we're gonna.
Oh yeah, I'll say I like that. You don't have to say no more. I like the sound of that.
Yeah, we got a plan, And it's nothing,
Well,
it's nothing even disrespectful to the family or anything,
no.
but we've got a plan.
Well, good. And I'm glad that you're going to get to spend time with the Jacksons and the Bios. I mean, it's, God puts you in certain places at certain times. I don't believe we just wander around through the world aimlessly,
Amen.
And just like, people have stumbled onto your channel, and just when they thought, I can't take it anymore, nothing can be done. Wait.
That's
You know,
right.
and then be inspired by it. You sell yourself short. You have inspired a lot of people.
Oh, thank you,
And
Camille.
I'm telling you, me, and I thought I was damn near uninspirable at this point. I've got so old.
No.
But no, I'm sorry I was late coming in. I have to tell you, my brother, that's an attorney, it came up and we were watching the end of the Brooks case where the guy
Crazy.
representing himself. They have rested, and I'll close an argument, so it's going to the jury now.
It's been a mess. I've really watched.
That was an absolute shit show.
Yeah.
I had never in my life. I don't care if I'm guilty or innocent. If I run a stop sign, I'm gonna say, "Hey, I need to see a lawyer." I mean,
Yep.
You just need one, without doubt. Well, I know other people are trying to get to you. I just wanted to touch base with you, but I'm just so proud of you and Marissa. And like I said, you got this army behind you. If you need anything while you're there, you know how to get us, and we'll get it to you.
Thank you, my love. I appreciate you, Camille.
All right.
Love you, honey.
Guys.
Love you too, honey.
All right.
Bye-bye. All right. Let's take another call. 903, thank you for calling.
Hi, Justin. It's April.
April.
I just a couple of things.
Sure.
First of all, I'm sorry about yesterday that I kept calling you and you weren't taking calls. My vision was not.
No, it's okay.
cooperating.
No, it's fine. I appreciate. I'm actually glad you did call because you gave me some really good information.
I couldn't type fast enough and my eyes weren't working, and I was like, crap.
Yeah.
So I apologize. I hope I didn't make you crazy.
No, you're fine.
Second, after that interview yesterday, I mean, I had a major emotional breakdown last night. I know I told you that I lost my granddaughter at 6 weeks old.
Yeah.
And she was just born with lung problems.
Yeah.
And so it just makes me so angry because my daughter didn't have a choice.
Yep.
We didn't have a choice.
Yep.
And this idiot just took this precious baby away. And it just makes me so angry. Have you seen the new video that Chronicles of Olivia posted from last night?
Yep. Oh yeah.
From the dark when yeah, that was very interesting to say the least, when they were chanting that cocaine eases the pain or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if you saw yesterday when I was watching Bullhorn Betty, there was someone that said that one of the neighbors that lived down the street, when the police told everyone on the street to check their cameras, she had on video. Now this is just someone saying this, So, but she had a video of Leilani putting something in her trash can, and when they checked, it was the Sesame Street T-shirt and the black pants that Quinton had on, and they were soaking wet and said they smelled of bleach. And supposedly the police have that video and his clothes.
Now, where did you hear this?
When I was watching Bullhorn's video yesterday afternoon, someone told her that, and then she she repeated it on her live. So now whether or not that's true, I don't know, but supposedly that is something that the police are supposed to have, his clothes and the video of her putting his clothes into some random person's trash can. So I heard that, and then apparently now they have put signs in the windows of their house that say, subscribe to, what is the name of Cher's channel? Something behind the wall.
Voices Behind the Wall.
Yeah, they've put signs from inside the house telling people to go subscribe to her channel, which is very interesting.
That's weird. Now,
They did that. They did that this afternoon while Dolly was out there.
so, you know, I mean, like, I mod for Cher, and but like, I can't. Like, why would someone missing a child, a grandchild, go put subscribe? Like, that should be the last thing they are worried about, is us on YouTube.
Exactly, and even Dolly was like, "What the?" I mean, he took his camera off of the stand, off of the tripod, and walked over there closer to it to see. He's like, "They just put signs in the window. Let's see, you know, what it says." And that's what it said, and he was just taken aback, like, "What in the world?" And I mean, it's just, I'm so angry, because if she was my daughter, and for her to sit there and say on TV, "If I did do something, what do you mean?" I would be shaking her till she was blue in the face. What do you mean you don't know? Yes, you do. A mother can look into their child's eyes, tell when they're telling the truth. Probably a father too. I'm sorry, Justin. But a parent to look at their children and know when they're lying and when they're not.
Right.
My kids are grown, and I can still, I can, with my son, I'm like, "Look at me when you're talking to me." And if he doesn't, I know. And he's 22 years old. You know, she should know that Leilani is lying and be able to get out of her, beat her if you have to get it out of her.
Right.
But I don't understand how a person can say, "If." What do you mean, if? You have got to know what happened. And for that family to be able to live in that house with her, just acting like she's just, I don't know. I wouldn't be okay with that at all. Not at all.
Lockdown with April C. It says, "I heard Cher tell her to do it. I didn't think she really would." I mean, I hope Cher wouldn't ask something like that. I mean,
I don't even know who she is. I heard something about her somewhere. It might have been on your channel. But I don't even know who she is. So,
exactly, Michelle. Well, thank you so much for calling.
They did that later this afternoon. So,
I'm gonna go. I'll have to check that out. That's wow.
yeah, it's all, wow. It's just absolutely insane. Yeah. All right, Justin.
All right. Thank you, dear, for calling. Appreciate it. Love you too, honey. Bye-bye. Hey, 3 Dot. Hey, question.
Yeah.
Was you ever the type of person that was, you know, it's hard for you to take a hint?
Yeah.
From
probably,
girls?
yeah.
Okay, just making sure. All right, go ahead, continue.
From your first segment, Debbie Collier, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a layman on that.
I would agree. Yeah.
But huh?
Nothing.
You agree? No, I just kind of like, I just kind of like got the gist of it, like back in the day, And the first thing I thought of, when I was like watching what I saw was that it seemed like she was tasked with picking up an order from that dollar store. That's what my first interpretation was, right?
What?
So now,
What about the dollar store?
Well, I thought that originally when I first heard about this, I was like going, it seemed like the grandmother was going to the store to fill an order. That's what I thought. That was my first like idea of what happened there.
What do you mean by fill an order?
Isn't the Debbie Collier thing is she went to like a Dollar Tree or dollar store and picked up an order, right? She was like going in and shopping, right? She caught on the cameras doing that.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, what I thought was at that time was that she was asked to fill an order, but then you said just recently, I heard you say that it was like an hour from her house.
Hour and a half.
An hour and a half from her house. So, like, did she have, like, was there a reason why she would have been out there, like, that far away from her home?
No.
Very strange. Because it just seems like what I thought at the time was that there should be, like, some surveillance footage of possibly someone connected to her that would have went in there and said, this tarp is available, this item is available. And so they had, like, a list of items that she would have been able to just go in there and fulfill, And it just seems strange that she's so far from her house. There's no excuse for that. All right, but on, Quinton's case, I'm going with, we were talking earlier and you were like thinking that maybe the surveillance video was from a convenience store or like a 7-Eleven.
Mm-hmm.
And that video, for sure, it had to have come from a trailer park. That's why I'm like, is this dumpster video, is that real? Or is that the actual spot?
Yes.
I think that the idea of the research on where she lived and that whole, cutting the screen and going through the window and stealing change and all that crap, that address is like super important. I think, because she had to have known if it's true that she was sitting there and put his body in the dumpsters and that she got caught on surveillance waiting for the trucks to come, that she had to have known, like, when trucks come and that would be a spot to go. I feel like it had to have been close to her house, right?
Yeah, it was mile and a half, I want to say.
Yeah, exactly. But being that no one has ever seen the video, how many trailer parks are in the area and how many trailer parks have surveillance cameras? Because every video I've seen doesn't show like a surveillance camera anywhere, so it's not a convenience store. It has to be a trailer park camera that caught her, if that's true.
Well, there's a convenience store like right outside of that trailer park where you go in.
Well, when you were like, when we watched that the car driving in and that video, there is no way there's a surveillance video from a convenience store anywhere seen that. That is literally like tree cover. It's just cans.
No, what I'm saying is from when you walk, from the main road, there's a convenience store like right out from it.
Right.
Like, yeah.
That's possible, but I mean, there's no way that camera is seeing those cans, So I'm just waiting for someone to actually pop up with a trailer park with dumpsters and a actual like video camera that is like looking at them. I'm waiting for something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Could be a Ring doorbell.
What?
It could be like a Ring doorbell on like one of the trailers.
Maybe, but I mean, I don't know, man. It seems kind of fishy, But the idea of that where Leilani lived and that whole, breaking in, stealing change, all that stuff from the boyfriend, or the father of Quinton, that story seems really legit to me. So, I mean, she seems super sketchy. But what I'd like to know is, lost my train of thought. All right, I'll call you back.
All right. Thanks, Dave.
Peace.
Peace. 3 Dave, guys. Gotta love him. Actually, I do like 3 Dave. He's to me, he's funny. He's annoying as shit sometimes, but he's very funny. And I do enjoy his calls, to be honest with you. I just don't like the calls whenever it doesn't say call in. Like that right there. All right. Okay, guys. Well, I'm at 2 hours. I'm going to, I guess, turn the lines off. All right. So, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. Please keep Marissa and Marissa's mother, Mommy Go Lightly, in your prayers. I would appreciate it. And just pray that they find little Quinton and that this can be put to rest. It would be, it would be great. Justice needs to happen for Quinton, to say the very least. I really do appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time to be here. You could have chosen to be anywhere, and you chose to be with me, and that I am really thankful for being here for Quinton and Debbie and myself. I appreciate you all. God bless each and every single one of you and your families. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for the memberships. Thank you for watching. Have a good night, and I will see you guys very soon, most likely tomorrow or on the YouTube streets until then. And we'll be in Savannah soon, Lord willing. God bless each and every one of you. Good night.